Here we are, Modern Beach Supply store. We're gonna do a board review this morning on something that I just simply can't live without. You see this? You see that? You see that from there? The Oracle. This will probably be the last surfboard I ride in my life when I'm an old man, hopefully. Up until now, it's sort of been like a secret love affair. The secret's out. Wow. We're gonna do a board review on the 10.6 Oracle. This board only comes in one size. It only comes in one color, Volan, triple stringer, carbon. We'll go back and I'm gonna give you a little bit of history on how I started riding big boards. Started with my dad. He had a couple big boards when I was a kid that I really connected with. When it really started happening for me was borrowing a board from Thomas Campbell. I borrowed a Skip Fry Eagle, had my eyes opened. Then I had Dane Purley build me a big board. Then I started having Josh Hall build me a couple. Eden Saul from Dead Kooks built me one really good one. Being like a performance traditional longboarder, like I love those boards and those boards are so special. But I always felt like I wanted to add to my big board surfing sort of some traditional longboard performance, which sort of got me going down this path with Ryan Engle. The Oracle, I wouldn't really call it a glider, although it has some glider attributes. It's more of a cruiser because as you can see, it sort of has like a traditional longboard rocker. A little bit of some of the elements that a Sprout 2.0 has, the Slasher Low Pro has, and that's some DNA that's sort of built into the all the boards that I'm currently building. It's so amazing to be able to have this board in Thunderbolt technology because you can only get so much out of them. When Yusan built me this one, after my first session on it, I think it turned the performance value up probably 30–40%. It was shocking how good this surfboard worked. And it's such a big board, but in the water, it doesn't feel cumbersome at all. It's really special. I'm so glad it's here. I ride it nonstop. It's so important to me. Taking a look at the tail of this board, it is sort of a traditional longboard, but it does have that edge that I have in all of my boards these days, which just is the power steering behind this thing. It's got a little bit of V back here to roll and then flat. And then it does have not a super gnarly nose riding concave, but a pretty predominant one. So when the opportunity does arise to go to the nose, this thing will perform. It's one of the things that I love so much about this board. I feel like I can do like my complete traditional longboarding repertoire. The other thing that's nice about this board is the rails are really foiled, really pinched. The board does sit in the water really nice. When you're on it, it doesn't feel like you're on like a big ship. It like sits in the water nice and it fits into the wave really well. It's amazing. Let's look at the rocker here. Nice amount of little tail flip. First impression when you catch your first wave on this board, this tail flip just allows the board to wheel around and maneuver really well. It slows the board down when you're nose riding. So you can get like super critical extended nose rides on this surfboard. So that's beautiful. You can also see here, and it's super slight, but it does have that baby step deck that in the tail that all my boards have. And it also has that in the nose. Steering wheel, gas pedal, brake. It just ties all the boards together. So you can go from a Slasher Low Pro to this board, to a Sprout, and all the boards sort of feel like they're relatives of each other, which I feel like ties my brand together really nicely. The literage on the Oracle is 92.6 liters. Not super big, but not super small. Kind of that nice middle ground for a board of its size. This board catches waves like no surfboard I've ever ridden. As user-friendly as it comes. Let's talk a little bit about the fin. I ride this fin, but this is an interesting surfboard. I feel like you could put a lot of different fins in this board and it would work really well. But I do ride personally the 10-inch Flying Diamonds of California involvement fin. The tail's a little narrower than most of my boards, so I can ride a little bit of a smaller fin, and I could probably even go down a little bit. But this fin at the front of the box, probably like 9 inches, just feels magic. Flying Diamonds involvement fin, but I think you can kind of mess around with that. You could ride a small fin, you could ride a bigger fin, but I like this because it pulls it into the traditional longboard category. CJ Nelson Designs Oracle, one of the most important surfboards I own. Fixes flat spells, fixes bigger days for you. Like, this board is just a workhorse and it never leaves my car. So if you don't have one or you're thinking about getting a big board or a cruiser, I highly recommend this one, Oracle.
Straight out the lab entertainment, roll rap. What's up, rack skirts, baby boy?